Hello everybody, my name is Nicola and welcome back to my channel. This is the Frugal Cottage, where we talk all things money to help you on your financial journey. Today's video is a dividend income update for you. This is for April 2021. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's get started. So I haven't done one of these dividend income updates for a while, purely because in March I received zero dividend income for the first time in a long time, and that's because the one company that usually pays me in March decided to change their dividend income dates, and that's what happens. Sometimes they change, or kind of it's the end of one month and they change it to the beginning of the next one, and so on. So I didn't have any update to do for you for last month, but I'm back with this one. So April is normally quite a small month in terms of dividend income, and you'll see here I only have one investment like holding that pays out in April. But I'm going to show you what it is. I'm going to show you what it looks like so far in terms of the year to date, and then I'll talk about what might be coming up as we go forward. But as always, the things that I share during these dividend income reports is just my own investment journey. This does not count as financial advice. I just want to share with you what could be possible if you wanted to try the same kind of method. And before I start, there is a link below in the description box if you want to check out the app Free Trade and you haven't done so far already. If you join via the referral link below, you will get a free share worth up to £200 if you go via the referral link. So if you want to have a look at that, I'll leave a link in the description box below. But let's get started. So dividend income. Remember, this dividend income report is about producing that second passive income stream that hopefully in the end will be the bulk of our retirement budget. And I'll leave a link below to our early retirement budget so you can see what we're aiming for. But this is this. So like I said, the only one I got paid for in April is GlaxoSmithKline. So GlaxoSmithKline is a pharmaceutical company. It pays out every quarter, so it's a great one to have in terms of kind of dividend income. And it's one of the holdings I've had in my portfolio for quite a long time. I'll leave a link below to the last video I did about just what I have in my investment portfolio. I probably need to do an updated video on that, but this is what it looks like for now. So in April 2021, my only payout was for £71.30. Now obviously I am aiming for, if you're not new here, I'm aiming for £1,000 a month as an average for dividend income. So you can see here from these numbers I am so far from that. However, I do like to look at terms of what dividend income, what bills it would pay. And for us, this would pay our water rates and both of our mobile phone bills. So we're looking at terms of covering those fixed expenses with dividend income, and I'm okay with that. Like I said, April is and has always been a really low pay month for me. I just have the one payment, and yes, I've invested more into GlaxoSmithKline over the past year or so that payment is more. But in order to get that to that £1,000 on average, obviously I am far from that and will continue to be so. But that's the only payment that I've had so far. So if you know me, you know that I'm a fan of kind of putting things into graphs, putting things into kind of pictures as well as just numbers. This is what the dividend income graph for me looks like so far. And you can see there that there's a big gap. That's because March was zero, so there's nothing to show there. Obviously, January was the best month so far. It tends to be quite a good start to the year, and then it does go downwards, and then May should be much better. Fingers crossed that is normally the case anyway. Fingers crossed that will be the same. But this is what the graph looks like in terms of income, and you can see there the first 2 months of the year. If you've not watched those dividend income videos, I'll leave them down below, so January and February, you can see the kind of breakdown there if you want to watch those. But you can see they're both over £100. And then we've dipped slightly for April, and we'll see where the year kind of continues to go. Hopefully it does spike up and down. There's no kind of consistent like leveling out in terms of the income there. It does go up and down. You know, that's always going to be the case. And the final thing to show you is just, this is kind of like an overview of what I've done so far. So you can see, so I've got the months and then the dividends earned here, and then what I've put into our investment account to invest into things that pay dividends. And yes, I would love this number to be more, but at the moment, in terms of our household income, it's not possible for us to stretch our income in a million different ways. And we're going to plod on regardless. But you can see there that that is looking good so far. May should be a good month. June is slightly more quiet. But in terms of dividend income, it is kind of playing the long game. I'm in this for the next kind of 20 years. It should build nicely until that point. But you can see there that my investment, the money invested is fairly stable. It doesn't really change. I don't have massive fluctuations in what I'm able to invest every month. Some months are lower than others. But I try and keep it the same. That consistency, that once a month investing really does work. And it's such an easy strategy. Like I'm not in fact, I've kind of weaned myself off checking my investment accounts regularly. I tend to put cash in on payday, invest it on the same day, and then I'll probably check in like twice a month into our early retirement accounts. But apart from that, I don't really do much. So I check in twice a month and then that's it. So the only time when I actually am actively doing something in that early retirement portfolio is when I am investing the cash that I save in there on payday. And the other time I log in is when I know that dividend income is paid out kind of during the month, but then the cash itself is received into my account on the 10th of the month. So I tend to go in around that day and then reinvest those dividends where I see fit. Sometimes, so if it's over £100, I'll put that figure into a fund. If it's less than £100, so this month it is, I will wait and leave that as cash until I put my next lump sum in and then kind of lump it together and do one more investment. The reason for that is that keeps the fees to an absolute minimum. I don't want to pay more in fees than I have to. And yes, I know that I'm with Harvey's Lansdowne. I would totally recommend those. I know they've got slightly higher fees. I'm well aware of that, and that time minimise those. If I was doing multiple trades a month, then it wouldn't be worth it, but I just do one. And sometimes if that's into a fund, it doesn't charge me for that either. So that is my dividend income update for April. So to recap, I got £71.30 for doing absolutely nothing, and we're keeping on growing, keeping on building, being very, very intentional with our money, and hopefully in the long run it will pay off literally. So have you had any dividends for April? Let me know down in the comments below if you've had any income. I love hearing about people's dividend income journeys. It inspires me to do better, it inspires me to keep going, and hopefully it shows you that this can be done by absolutely anybody. You just need to get going. And like I said, I'll leave a link below to that free trade account where you get your first free share if you want to check that out. As always, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you again very soon.